Okay, so this egg was cracked and I thought I would paint it. I have my cracked egg here that I'm going to paint. I have my water for painting. And one of the things I want to say, because I'm noticing I have my water for painting, but we need to drink a lot of water. Somehow I find I'm not, so that's my message. Because, I don't know, we're not running around and we're home a lot, or I am, and I find I'm not drinking water, and, our bodies really need it. So I have, besides my coffee, which I finished, I have my water by my side, so I'm going to try and be really mindful of that. I'll do my sketch. I mentioned in the other video, I love paintings with a lot of white in them, and I referred to Sargent's paintings, women in the white dresses, and also I love snow paintings, because when you paint with white, you're really using so many other colors, and it just seems so lush. When Sargent would paint, he would, mostly oils. He did do some watercolors. And what's interesting is when I saw a show of his work, I actually saw it in Florence. My friend Alexandra told me about it, and I made sure to see it before I left. And it was of Sargent's travels. And he would use, which I don't recommend this, he was fantastic. I guess because he was an oil painter, he would use white oil paint in his paintings. And in the paintings, because they're, century old, were cracking, where the white oil was. It was just interesting that he did that he used the oil and just white, though. Just he used the white. So I challenge you to use the white of your paper when you're doing your watercolors. This egg is in a crystal glass so I could see it, and I really don't want to get caught up painting this crystal today, but whatever. We're here, life goes on, and many people are suffering losses and also have celebrations that they're experiencing alone. Making these videos as a way of just kind of being there with you, or being with someone and chatting, I guess is kind of the purpose of them. I like to listen to podcasts and music, which I can't do when I'm videoing because of copyrights, and I guess YouTube picks up on that. So you just have to deal with me or silence. I'm going to put some music over this. Thank God for social media, and telephones. We're not really totally alone. I do eat the food that I use, but I don't want to get salmonella, so I'm not going to be eating this egg. But the fruit is a different story that I paint. If you don't know, I am trying to use up all my materials at home, and this was a new pad. I think I have a week's left of paintings. I think there's 7 pages, including this, 7 or 8, I'm not sure, left in this. This is like my morning exercise. I come to after my coffee. I want to use up all my materials that I have at home, since I'm not going outside to paint in my studio, which I do. I like painting outside, and then I interpret a lot of the work I do and make it larger in my studio. I have to remember when I say I don't feel like getting up and going to the studio, I'm tired, how much I miss it. Do wish it was a little closer, not too far from home, but when there's traffic, I'm sure now if I was going in, I'd fly there because there's no traffic. I'm in New York, so what should take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and take an hour and 40 minutes, so I'm looking for a little stray piece of watercolor paper to test my colors since I'm working so light, but of course I don't have it here. I don't want to outline too much. Away from doing that. So I'll pull this color away a little bit. I really want to use the different colors to create the form. Usually if you're doing something like crystal, you can put in the colors that are on the opposite side of it, but I have this on a white surface because it's the surface of my desk. It's not set up like with the still life on a table, so I can't really use that so much. This is a good time. Let's see if I have that flat brush still up. Oh, here it is. This number 4 flat brush that I could use if I have too much color down or I want to spread it. It kind of works as an eraser. This was introduced to me. I don't remember her name, but I took a botany painting class at Garden Center in Long Island. I wish they still had that because there was just all these plants and we were in this big room and you could take a plant and just like plop it down and paint it. It must have been a place, a table where they would do classes on planting because it was a nice big surface. And if you didn't have a studio or you want to paint outdoors but say it was raining out, whatever, you were inside, in this garden center with this collection of any flowering plant or whatever you wanted to paint. It's great. Put a little shadow and on the outer edge, kind of define it. I got too much shadow going on here. One of the things I wanted to talk about was proportion, and I will address it. These paintings are fairly, with some exception, like the banana paintings I did, with the whole bunch of bananas on a 5x7 paper. That wasn't real, but are fairly to scale, so they're very close to actual size of the objects. Got a little too dark in here, trying to get the inside of that shell. It was just a little too over dark, and lift some of that color out. So I use this number 4 flat brush that is kind of like an eraser brush. And I really wish I need a very clean water because of the white of this painting. So I think I'm going to swap it out right now. I may use a thinner brush and just try and get an edge. It's pulling up the pulp. This reminds me of when I was doing the skin of the onion, but of course I could use more color in that. It's like a flower. It's turning into more of a flower than a shell. It is lifting the pulp, which it's not supposed to do, but it's all right. Just doing almost like a glaze in a sense, just evening it out a little bit on the inside and going with that circular moving out from the center bottom and lifting some of the color. Get this down, I would just paint this like 500 times or 5 times, but I'm not. So we have ways of staying together, and we will get through this time. And it's much more difficult for some people than others who are suffering great loss. Be strong. Stay home. Take care of yourself. Help those you can help. Pick up the phone and do something for you. Drink lots of water. Take care of yourself. I said that already. Just in case you didn't hear me, take care of yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow.